Google's second shot at a foldable, the oddly named Google Pixel 9 Pro Fold, has taken a step forward. The key difference is that Samsung's first Fold, despite its flaws, was a trailblazer with no competition at the time. So, when Samsung rolled out its second generation, it brought fresh innovations. In contrast, Google's first foldable lagged behind rivals in hardware, making the new Pixel 9 Pro Fold feel more like a game of catch-up to the top foldables out there. Don't get me wrong, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold looks and feels fantastic, but its hardware doesn't quite outshine Samsung's Z Fold 6, and it definitely trails behind the latest offerings from brands like Xiaomi, Honor, and Vivo. The silver lining is that Pixel enthusiasts usually lean towards pixels for their software rather than hardware. The Pixel 9 Pro Fold mostly nails that aspect. Overall, it still delivers a classic Pixel experience, which is appealing in its own right. The Pixel 9 Pro Fold has a big job to do, and while it doesn't fully hit the mark, it's still Google's most refined device yet, trading off some features for a really enjoyable experience. This creates an interesting dilemma for potential buyers, and I'll dive deeper into that in this review. Google has revamped the design of the Pixel Fold, shifting from that Moleskine-style fold to a more classic look. But don't worry, it hasn't gone to the extreme like Samsung, which has a super narrow external screen that's tough for those with larger hands to use. Google's focus is on making the phone user-friendly for everyone, regardless of hand size. They've made the screen taller while keeping the width the same. A 6.3-inch external display that matches the dimensions of the Pixel 9 Pro. It feels like a regular phone when you hold it, more so than any other foldable out there. Sure, the bezels are on the larger side, but that actually helps those with bigger hands grip it better without blowing up the screen size. This is the slimmest foldable phone in India at just 10.5 millimeters, although it does weigh in at 257 grams, making it feel a bit hefty. The squared edges give it a chunkier vibe, but I actually dig the premium feel of the anodized aluminum. It really feels like one of the top-tier folding phones out there, similar to Samsung's offerings. The build quality is top-notch, thanks to the fantastic hinge design that operates smoothly and holds its position at various angles, without that annoying springy action. Plus, it boasts an IPX8 water resistance rating. There is a noticeable crease, but it's not as pronounced as the one on the Galaxy Z Fold 6. And honestly, the screen quality is way better than what you get with the Vivo Foldable, which looks pretty washed out in comparison. Google has really nailed it with the displays on the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. They're boasting 2700 nits of brightness for both screens, which is a bit more than what Samsung claims, and honestly, it seems spot on. I haven't measured it with a lux meter, so this is just my personal take based on what I see. That said, the visuals on these screens appeared brighter and more vibrant compared to the Vivo, which claims 4500 nits. I checked out a ton of content on this device, caught the Italian GP F1 race, wrote a good chunk of this review while flying, surfed the web, and streamed shows on Prime Video and Netflix, and it was a fantastic experience. Plus, these screens are tough. The outer one features Gorilla Glass Victus 2, and the folding screen inside is sturdier than the one on the original Pixel Fold. To top it off, the stereo speakers are loud and clear. Google's foldable phone stands out as one of the best engineered folding smartphones available, combining great ergonomics and usability with a significant upgrade in build quality that rivals the top players in the market. Pixel fans have always appreciated Google's pure version of Android. However, when it comes to foldable devices, Samsung has taken the lead, offering software that feels more advanced for foldable screens than what Google provides. This can be a bit frustrating for productivity enthusiasts using the Pixel Pro 9 Fold. For example, the Galaxy Z Fold 6 lets you run 4 apps side by side, while OnePlus has upped the game with its Open Canvas feature, allowing one app to sit below 2 floating ones that you can call up whenever you need. Users and reviewers, including myself, have really enjoyed this functionality. In contrast, Google keeps it simple, only allowing 2 apps to be displayed side by side. Their dock can pin apps or suggest them based on your usage through machine learning. While it's smooth and straightforward, Google's minimalist approach doesn't quite meet the needs of power users who crave more features in their foldable devices. On a side note, Google is rolling out the new Pixel phones with Android 14 instead of 15, which is set to arrive in October. The Pixel really stands out when it comes to generative artificial intelligence, and that's no surprise since Google is a leader in the AI game. This phone even includes a year of free access to Gemini Advanced, which is their top-tier language model. Plus, it brings along Gemini Live, which I think is the most lifelike voice assistant out there, although it still misses some basic functions like setting a timer. On the bright side, there are cool features like Pixel Studio that excel at creating images. The camera is packed with Gen AI tools too, featuring an upgraded magic eraser, enhanced zoom, auto-framing, and generative fill, all of which can really change the way your photos look. One of my favorite features has to be the zoom enhancer. I really put it to the test with the 10.5 megapixel telephoto lens, which is the same one from the previous Pixel Fold. In my experience, even with the older hardware, the Pixel 9 Pro Fold outshined the Galaxy Z Fold 6's camera, although it couldn't quite reach the cinematic level of the Vivo X Fold 3. Overall, the 48 megapixel main camera with its f/1.7 aperture takes some really sharp and appealing photos, but Google is definitely facing tougher competition from Vivo and Samsung in the portrait mode department. A lot of these updates are thanks to the new Tensor G4 chipset. This chipset is mainly based on last year's Samsung Exynos processor, which wasn't used in any Galaxy smartphones. Google has cut down on the core counts but added a stronger prime core, resulting in an octa-core setup that offers slight improvements in single-thread CPU performance and minimal gains in multi-threaded tasks. The GPU has also seen some upgrades, but Android phones still lag behind iPhones when it comes to top-tier AAA games, and while it handles on-device tasks pretty well, most heavy lifting is still done in the cloud. In everyday use, this feels like the fastest Android phone I've tried. However, when you start editing videos or transferring large files via USB, you realize it's not the top performer in the Android world. If you're a content creator focused on video editing, this might not be the ideal phone for you. Poor network quality has often drained the battery life of Pixel smartphones, but that's not the case with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold. In fact, neither of the Pixel 9 models face these problems thanks to updates to the modem and a larger battery. It's larger than what Samsung offers but smaller than what Vivo and OnePlus have. The charging speed is 21 watt wired and a sluggish 7.5 watt for wireless, but at least it has wireless charging, unlike the OnePlus Open. With heavy use, this phone can easily last a full day on a single charge, but don't expect it to charge up quickly. Overall, Google has really nailed it with the Pixel 9 Pro Fold, refining an already popular device. However, competitors are definitely stepping up their game. The main drawback is the limitations of Google's silicon, which might be noticeable to power users, but for the average person, it should work just fine. Plus, with Google's reputation for clean software and solid security, this phone has a lot going for it, especially since they've improved the hardware that used to be a weak point. As for the price, it's on the higher side, but it has that unique Google polish that you won't find in most foldables. So, how do you like this new Pixel 9 Pro Fold from Google? Let us know it down below in the comments section, and for more updates you can check out our channel, and I'll see you all in the next one. Until then, take care.